Hello, welcome back to my channel. Yes, guys. Hello, big up to him, who's already in here, and big up to Dasilt as well. Hit the likes. Do be hitting the likes, guys. It helps out a ton. This thumbnail is criminal. This thumbnail shows the truth. Why am I... okay. This thumbnail shows the truth. Because these are construction work. Working into Club World Cup. But I'll get to that. What's with the random ass start time? Well, that's toxic and negative. Why are you questioning me? Why are you being toxic and negative? Well, the reason is because uh, I, I finished the thumbnail like 2 minutes after like 9, and you want to have like 30 minutes beforehand because it sends out a notification. Like it's YouTube stuff, basically. YouTube stuff. So it sends a notification. You want to schedule it 30 minutes into the future at least for the notifications. Too bad I'm watching a Club World Cup game right now. It's a disgrace, and I'll explain why. Auckland City can still win the group. Trust the process, guys. Trust the process, bro. Just say Bayern were brilliant. You can do it. Bro. 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 This the team you be playing against, bruv? This the team Bayern München be playing against, bruv? How far you have fallen, bro? Bro. This is what you're up to now. This is what you're doing nowadays. You can't even play proper players anymore. You gotta go in for the construction workers. That's kinda sad, isn't it? So anyhow, let's talk about this disgracia of a competition. This disgrace that is the Club World Cup. So listen. Listen. You can have a competition with weaker teams in it. I like cups. I like domestic cups because those are competitions, and you have some weaker teams, and they can make big upsets. Like think Portsmouth against Liverpool this season. So sometimes you have big upsets in these cups. That is not what this is. This is the World Cup. We're talking about immense amounts of money to change the way this league works, because Auckland won't receive the majority of this money. They'll go to the league, we'll redistribute it. And we are talking about ridiculous amounts of money here. We are talking about more football. Players don't get rest anymore. You have the Club World Cup. You have the so 1 year you have the Club World Cup and Nations League. Next year you have the Euros. Next year you have the Nations League again. Then you have the World Cup, and then you have the Club World Cup again. It's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. It's made scheduling worse. We'll talk about that more in detail, yeah, but just keeping on the surface for now, this is a waste of time. Like really it is. The players will not say that, because they are players and they love to play football. The Auckland City players had an experience they'll remember for the rest of their life. Not the most positive, but it's an experience, they'll remember that. But if you look at objectively, from top to bottom, this is not good for football. It just isn't. Leuven got a new manager, by the way. I saw that earlier. Bayern always beats small teams like Auckland and Barcelona. This is true. This is true. Actually, is Bayern München a bigger team than Barcelona? I suppose you can have that argument. I think Barca is probably bigger than Bayern. I'm not sure. Who is the second biggest club in world football? Real Madrid is the biggest. I guess it's either Bayern or Barca the biggest. Timmy Simons left Westerlo. Okay. And thus the propaganda machine has begun. It's not propaganda, it's facts. It's facts. Goal Chelsea. Oh, look. Another joke of a game. Chelsea FC. Bro, they're not even playing to the best team, are they? I mean, they've got James in here, but... they are playing to the best team. Fair enough. Don't they have the Delap? Oh yeah, Liam Delap is on the bench. I'm guessing he'll make a debut. But this is a joke. This competition is a joke. Hugo Lloris, by the way, in net for the LAFC. I didn't know that he played here. I didn't know that he played for them. He's won a cup with them even. More than what he's done at Tottenham, obviously. Yeah, I did not know that he played for them. Anyhow, this is a disgrace. Now, I saw a video that I wanted to that I wanted to respond to, that I wanted to react to. So let's just get into that video, I would say, and let's react to this video. Yeah, let's just react to it.
The FIFA Club World Cup is almost upon us.
I find it. It isn't. I saved it in my watch later somewhere. Oh, here we go. We found it. And now
The FIFA Club.
There we go. So, first let me check if you guys can hear the audio here. If you can't hear the audio, just tell me, but you should be able
The
to hear
FIFA
it.
Club World Cup is almost upon us.
Perfect.
32 teams from across the globe, 8 groups of 4, and
So, this competition, he's gonna explain, and I saw this video earlier, he's gonna explain why the Club World Cup is the best thing to since sliced bread. First of all,
a month-long
he goes after people very targetively. So if you're gonna ask me, do you feel bad about going in on this guy as heavily as you're about to do? No, I don't. Because he's going in on people very heavily. So I'm gonna go in on him. He's being an asshole in this video. So if you dish out, fair enough, but you gotta be able to take it back too. So with that said, keep that in mind. That this is not some sweet guy that just made a video. No, this is a guy who's going after people in this videos. I do not feel bad going after him in turn.
competition, with the winner getting the bragging rights to be considered the best club in the entirety of world football for the next 4 years.
That competition exists already. It's called the UEFA Champions League. Unfortunately, Auckland City have to be in the World Cup as the best team in Oceania. Bro, like this is the problem, isn't it? Like, we had a functional Club World Cup already. Now we've just expanded it to this ridiculous size. Like 32 teams. Why? It's ridiculous. Like, I get why, but this competition should not exist to begin with. This competition is a disgrace. It's not all of the world of football loves football. Like, when you have qualifiers in football, there's not always a Oceania team in the World Cup. Like, there are specific qualifying games and stuff, and it's an entire qualifying process to make sure that the teams in the Club World Cup are reasonable. And we don't have that for this, and if we wanted to implement such a system, it would take far too long. It would take far too long, and it would make things even worse, in my opinion. So, no, I don't rate the existence of this competition whatsoever.
On paper,
Anyhow,
it sounds like a fun concept.
No, it doesn't.
But when you
It sounds like a fun concept if you don't think about it for longer than 5 seconds.
consider that FIFA, the most corrupt foundation in all of sports, are the
Italian football has something to say
ones
about
running the
this.
competition, and that
To be fair, it is an Italian running thing, so maybe.
they chose to inaugurate this new version of it in a
Infantino is an Italian guy.
country ruled by Orange Julius Caesar. It does not inspire a lot of hope for its success. But the way you hear all of these football influencers in the English-speaking ecosphere talking about this competition, it's as if Gianni
I mean, all these influencers, you're making, I mean, like, your channel is 6.25k subscribers. I can say the same thing about you. Oh, you're the football influencer, you're, like, bro. Like, he calls people snobs. Throughout the video, he'll do that. But he's very snobby himself. I'm just gonna say that.
Infantino walked up to the essence and purity of the sport of football and shot it in cold blood in front of all of us for a $1 billion payday.
FIFA, we are here. Let's go! Turn up, man.
Don't get me wrong, I'm sure the thought has crossed his mind if it meant FIFA having an extra zero added on their bank account, but my point is that for all of the proper critiques that a competition ran by that organization deserves and that should be talked about, there's also a lot of weird projecting being done by this community, as well as their reaction to anything outside of European football, trying to take center stage, which
It's not the problem of not European football trying to take center stage. It's the problem of terrible football teams wasting our time, like Auckland City.
is like that of a Victorian-era child after eating a Sour Patch Kid. So today, let's talk about the FIFA
Yes, funny.
Club World Cup from the perspective of someone whose team is playing in it, who is excited for the concept of it, even with its faulty management, and about how I think that some of the critiques thrown around by various outlets and folks regarding the competition are being done in bad faith. First and foremost, this whole concept of the Club World Cup is not new. In fact,
Of course not. Had it since 1961, I believe. Sorry, 1960. Real Madrid won the first one in 1960. So it's not new. It's not new.
it has already been happening under this specific name since 2000, when FIFA launched the format to piggyback off the success they've had with the Intercontinental Cup, which was a one-off game between the Copa Libertadores winner in South America and the UEFA European Cup winner that began in 1960 and ran all the way through 2004. The framework and competition rules of it have varied since its inception in 2000, where Brazil hosted the first edition, and the bane of my f***ing existence in Sport Clube Corinthians Paulista won the whole thing on penalties against Rio de Janeiro's side Vasco da Gama. After a bit of a logistics mess that is completely on brand.
I'm salty that another team in Brazil is bigger than we are. That's the basic gist of what that.
And for a FIFA tournament that was run by Sepp Blatter, the competition's 2001 edition was cancelled and it remained dormant until 2005. By then, they had finally figured out a new format where
So I just want to show you. I just want to show Intercontinental Cup that he's talking about. So this is what he's talking about. Now, if we actually calculate this, Real Madrid has 3 of them, AC Milan has 3 of them, Porto has 2 of them, Bayern has 2 of them, Juventus has 2 of them, so does Ajax, so does Inter Milan, Man United, Dortmund, Belgrade, Sarsfield. What the fuck? That must be a South American club. Yeah, I've never heard of that. So Belgrade has one, and Atletico Madrid has one of them somehow, and so does Feyenoord. So 21 are won by European teams. Now I just want to see here how many editions have there been, if we quickly count. From 1960, is it hosted every year? Looks like it has been hosted every year. Oh, okay, they do skip a few years. So we've got 1 year skipped. Seems like that's the only year that's been skipped so far. Let's go count this. Yes, sir. So that is 1 year that we're counting that is skipped. 1 year that has been skipped. Yes. So since 1960, so 2004 to 1960 is 44. Now minus 1 because 1 year has been skipped. So of the 43 editions of the Intercontinental Cup, half of them have been won by European sides, and that will be important for later.
The continental champions of all 6 continents would come together in a knockout-style tournament over the course of a week and determine the Club World Cup winner.
And that was fine. That was fine.
The format of the Club World Cup was expanded to 7 teams in 2007. The host nation being able to choose the best team from their domestic league to represent them as the 7th team.
Which was stupid. I mean, that was stupid.
And that format of the competition trucked along until 2023 in order to make room for the souped-up version that we're about to see being hosted by the United States. Now, how do I know all of this? Well, besides the fact that searching for stuff on the internet is an easy thing to do, and you don't need a goddamn robot like half of football Twitter to explain it to you like you're 5, I am a Palmeiras fan. We won.
Yeah, okay, I get it. You're desperate to win a World Cup, so that you can say you're the biggest team. I get it.
The Copa Libertadores in 2021.
I mean, I get it. I'm not just taking the piss. Club Brugge, whenever you say who's the biggest team in Belgium, it's Anderlecht. Why? European trophies. Club Brugge can win all they want. Anderlecht have European trophies. Brugge don't. I get it. You can't chat to that. It's like Real Madrid and 15 Champions Leagues. You can't chat with it. Same way here, the rival team has a World Cup, they don't. So he can't chat. Can't chat. It's that simple. He doesn't like that he can't chat.
And with that, ended up earning one of those Common Bowl spots. And as a fan base, we have been salivating at the chance to play in this new format of the competition. Primarily because we suffer from having to hear just about every other club's fan bases in Brazil scream that Palmeiras não tem Mundial.
I mean, this is a good look, man.
Again. He's talking about being snobbery, but literally everything you're talking about here is coming from your personal experience as a Palmeiras fan. So this is not objective as a football fan, this is as a Palmeiras fan that you're talking.
And I am suffering!
That's
while cackling about their club's 1 to 3 Intercontinental or Club World Cup wins that happened 20 to 30 years ago, while my club's been winning multiple titles on the domestic and continental level in the past 5 years. But I digress. The Super Mundial, as we're calling it in Brazil, definitely has a crazier format than the previous iterations of the competition. You've got all 6 continents involved in some manner, you're guaranteed some pretty niche clashes you wouldn't witness.
I mean...
Continents involved in some manner, you're guaranteed...
I mean... Have you not seen Flamengo play? I'm pretty sure Flamengo played against Chelsea before. Flamengo played before. Well, this is... Pretty sure they played in the World Cup, in the Club World Cup that Chelsea won. This one. 2021 Club World Cup. Oh, sorry, that's Bayern. 2022. Okay, no, they beat Palmeiras. Okay, and Al Hilal. I thought they played against Flamengo. I guess not. Okay.
Some pretty niche clashes you wouldn't witness in the world of football otherwise.
No one is saying up for Mamelodi against Dortmund.
And I think for anyone that actually likes the sport, instead of just liking individual players or a big team in Europe that came in second place for the umpteenth time, there's an appeal to see how the best teams in certain areas would fare against European giants, or to measure if there's a massive gap between African or Asian football against North and South America.
You can do all of this without having a 7-game tournament that just wastes everyone's time and takes away even more the rest of players. But like, all of these competitions are being added, and we're just wasting time of these players' their lives. Like, I get it. Sounds great, all of this. We had a system for this. It worked fine. And the only the only thing yet that they did is they created this system where you're gonna have even more games, but it's not just yeah that you get this new set. You get a bunch of Premier League teams in here and a Liga team. Like I don't need to watch the Club World Cup to see who was it, PSG play against Atletico, do I now? Like, we don't need the Club World Cup for that. These are games that just should not exist.
American representatives. Things of that nature. After all, styles make fights. But before I get accused of being Gianni Infantino's greatest PR soldier, God knows he needs them to sell tickets in this edition of the tournament, I do want to emphasize that this new format of the Club World Cup comes with its fair share of oddities and some pretty massive fumbles during its preparation stages. When you're still limiting the continent of Oceania,
if you remove the top 5 teams, or the top 5 leagues, I'm not sure it would be a great competition. I mean, it would be a great competition for South America, who would dominate it, the same way that Europe currently dominates the competition. But I don't hate the competition because it's bad for Europe. I hate it because it's bad for football. This is not a good competition for South America. Like, it's not gonna help them in the long term. It isn't. It's gonna help specific clubs in South America. It's not gonna help the South American League. Which is, South American leagues. Which is a shame, because the Brazilian League is improving. It's becoming a really good league. In 5 to 10 years from now, the Brazilian League may have teams that can go head to head with some European top teams. Like that is how much the Brazilian League is improving. But what is happening with this Club World Cup is you're dumping money into the Brazilian League, destabilizing it, and growth has to be in a stable manner. You can't grow quickly and maintain it. It just doesn't happen. Never in the history of mankind has sudden growth been maintained. If you go into the business world, it's never happened. If you go into the history of empires, it has never happened. Sudden growth is bad. You want gradual growth, which South America, or specifically Brazil, has been having. So I actually think, that this competition will be bad for Brazil. They're dumping a bunch of money into the Brazilian League they don't need. That they really don't need. And you're dumping money in for all the wrong reasons. You're disrupting the Brazilian League and all of that. It's not good for Brazil.
the one club only, along with ranking coefficients over 4-year cycles, leading to teams who aren't even in continental competitions this year being able to get in on the action, you have some issues. And that's before I even get into the fact that Inter Miami got awarded the host spot.
Yeah, I agree with. I agree with this. It's just Champions League with extra spots and neutral so much.
For winning the MLS Supporters Shield, aka the regular season league, over Columbus Crew or the LA Galaxy, who actually won the MLS Cup after going through their whole knockout system over the past 2 years. If anything, we learned that having a play-in game in the manner that LAFC and Club America had to go through would have been the best solution for this whole host country club situation. And even that game only happened because FIFA botched their whole rulebook for this tournament when it came to the multi-club ownership situation with Club Leon and Pachuca.
You know why they botched it? Because it's all about money. The only reason this competition exists is money. That's why they didn't botch it, they got what they wanted. This is what they wanted. They didn't botch it. From the fans' perspective, they may have botched it, but from FIFA's perspective, this is what they wanted. Think about that, this is what FIFA wanted. Okay, so we as fans might say, oh, they botched it. FIFA is happy with it. FIFA is happy with it. Big up to Luca. Big up to Luca. How are you?
Which eventually got Leon booted out of the competition in the first place, facilitating this play-in game. Yes, believe it or not, you can be excited about the concept of a club football tournament where multiple interesting matches are set to happen, while also criticizing the body organizing the tournament for...
Yeah, and that's fair, but here's the problem. The concept is not a great concept. If you stop at just like the bare principles, like this is what we're doing here. This is what we're doing. Let me open Google Docs. Let me show you guys what we are doing here. This is what we are doing right now. So, this is my essay. Essay on politics in the United States. They vote on a president. Source. American election. There you go. There you go. Sources. Done. Voila. 1 second. How do I type a small one? How do I type a small one, guys? How do I do this? Can't you type a small? How to type small? 1 second, guys. 1 second. There you go. There you go. We found it. We can copy paste, guys. I'm a fucking. Oh. Okay, that's the keyboard combination. There we go. There we go. This is what we are doing, guys. This is what we are doing. We are calling this an essay. This is pretty much what we're doing. This is our essay. This is our essay. That is what this guy is doing. Or you can be excited about the concept. Okay, this is a professional essay then. I'm going to put this essay in my politics class. What did we do? If I put this essay in my politics class, I'll be laughed at. That's what you're doing. Like, you call people snobs, you attack channels personally. So don't get salty if you see this and you think, oh, you're being an asshole. You do this to other people. But this is your work. This is your work, pretty much. What are we doing here? Like, seriously, what are we doing here?
Being greedy scumbags who just do whatever the f they want if it means gaining more influence and fortune. These things are not mutually exclusive, contrary to whatever your favorite monotone footballing YouTuber who roots for a team from bun nowhere Yorkshire might try to tell.
I probably know more teams from Yorkshire than from Brazil, so... I mean, what are you trying to say?
You. Okay, look, I know that sounded unnecessarily harsh, but it does lead me to my next point. Because over the past few months since the Club World Cup's format got announced, the draws for the group stage and everything in between...
But that's a waste of time too. This is also a waste of time. We already have the Champions League. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? We already have Champions League.
One particular group has been very, very vocal about it all. Europeans. English-speaking Europeans, to be precise.
Boy, if you don't get the f*** out of my face.
There's been a lot of talk in recent months from many areas regarding this competition by prolific voices within regular media, social media, and in this...
And this is what I mean with his snobby. He calls other people snob and snobbery and all this stuff. And then he goes like, oh, the English-speaking Europeans are having opinions. Oh my god, how dare they?
Outlet known as YouTube.
How dare they?
This is what made me want to make this video in the first place, because English is widely considered a lingua franca in the world of football, especially in Europe. Which means that as someone who is fluent in English as a second language, I've unfortunately been subject to incredibly nonsensical takes left and right about this tournament. So rather than pulling a diagonal on you and flooding the next 30 seconds of your video with various tweets from,
to be honest, I never heard of him before watching this video. Does make good content. Maybe I should check him out.
every degenerate of football Twitter and showing you the horrors of the Twitter For You page, we're just gonna classify all of
Twitter is Twitter, let's be honest. Twitter is Twitter.
these critiques into a few different categories.
Who's we?
I mean, there's a lot of people who don't care and who don't watch it. Make an argument.
Ah yes, the primary European pilled go-to excuse that reeks of a superiority complex that none of them have actually earned, and yet these people feel the compelling need to tell you
No, I agree, but here we're just doing FIFA stuff. We don't have to appeal to FIFA or to UEFA or to these organizations. We can just say, fuck these organizations. Give us the football we want and stop trying to mess with football in ways that nobody is up for and that the players aren't equipped to do. Like, I get UEFA or FIFA wants to do things, but they shouldn't do things like this.
and I about how much they don't care about the competition because of a laundry list of reasons that go from their favorite club not being good enough to qualify for it, to how it's not prestigious enough because it isn't the UEFA Champions League. Congratulations. Now please remember that the only reason your leagues and your Continental Cup competitions are even at the level of prestige that they are now is because of egregious amounts of money that you all
And earlier, I took you guys to the page of all winners of the Intercontinental Cup. So South America against Europe. And the first 6 years of this competition, 3 European winners, 3 South American winners. In total, there were 21 European winners and 22 South American winners. So the idea that European football was nowhere close to South American football before the expenditure is stupid. That is why we did that earlier, to disprove this, because this was coming up. Second of all, who cares? Europe is superior in football. That's a fact. European leagues are superior. European leagues are more prestigious. Now, I like the Brazilian league. I've watched a few games of the Brazilian league, and it's an incredibly good league to watch. And it's a league that is improving. But European leagues are better. So what's the point with this? Oh, you don't deserve it. Shut up. Who cares? Go make your own league. Go fix that shit up. And then you can talk.
pay to grab the best foreign talents from outside of your continent and integrate them into your league.
2006, 2002 was the last time a South American team had won the World Cup before 2022. It was a 20-year gap where only European teams won the World Cup. I started watching football with the 2006 World Cup. Until Messi won the World Cup in 2022, I had never seen a South American team win the Club World Cup. The World Cup. In 2006, it was Italy. In 2010, it was Spain. 2014, I saw Germany destroy your Brazil. Won the World Cup. In 2018, it was France. And 2022, of course, it was Argentina. So I've seen 5 World Cups. One of them has been won by a South American team. Let's not pretend like South American football is this transcendent thing. South American football is not super superior and best in everything. Calma. You're not that guy. You're not that guy, you know? You're not that guy. In fact, one could argue that the only reason why Brazil has the most World Cups is because Germany was banned from international football for a while. Some stuff happened in the 1940s, but we won't talk about that at length. So Germany was banned from international football for a while and wasn't allowed to participate in a World Cup despite being clearly the best team in the world at the time, or in Europe, should I say. Germany was split into West and East Germany. So one could argue that if that stuff didn't happen, then Germany would have more World Cups. So Brazil didn't deserve their World Cups. 2-1. 2-1.
Leagues and cups. Because let's be real, if your leagues were restricted to having the field players from your own countries,
We used an advanced regression model to find that you are either totally, entirely, or marginally
now, I'd happily
I mean, your leagues are pretty much restricted to Brazilian players and shit. So.
open the floor to discuss how nonsensical
In fact, you buy players from Portugal. Well, what are we doing?
the ranking systems for the selection of non-Continental Cup winning teams to partake in the FIFA Club World Cup are, and point out things like how Austrian energy drink merchants RB Salzburg are the equivalent of the polar bear in Arlington, Texas meme, but I know you all don't care, so we're gonna move on to the next category. Alright, this one, it's an important point because
Okay, let me read this one. You should watch the club. Sorry, I need to do this. You should watch the Club World Cup. Why? The PR is worth it. Sir, there should be a question mark after this. Why? Question. I'm gonna be snobby now. I'm gonna be snobby. No, do not watch it. Do not watch it. This competition is a scam. It's only for the money. And everyone was saying this. When the Club World Cup was first announced, it's a scam. Played schedules, waste of money, this, that. And now that the Club World Cup is here, oh yes, let's watch it. People flip-flop, man. Everyone hated the idea of the Club World Cup. Now it's here, and people have flip-flopped. They have flip-flopped. I have stayed consistent.
believe it or not, there are actual and valuable arguments to make about this point when it comes to the sport, with the increase in matches over the past 20 to 30 years with the additions of various competitions on a local, continental, and worldwide scale. In fact, FIFPro did a whole workload report.
Now, I would not personally take FIFPro too seriously. No offense, FIFPro is a bit of a corrupt organization. So UEFA, also a corrupt organization, is big friends of FIFA.
Calling for necessary safeguards on excessive workload for players throughout the course of a footballing calendar year. Of course, this is also an organization that only has 66 countries on board, most of them are European, and they also happily entered a historic. Most of them are European.
Look at this. Germany, standards. Do not collude with the corrupt FIFPro organization. Standards, bruv. Same with Brazil. One up for the two biggest countries in world football. They did not collude with this bullshit FIFA. Brazil numero uno en Duitsland number 1.
European and
Number 1. I forgot my German for a second.
They also happily entered a historic partnership with UEFA after the latter expanded their Champions League format from 32 teams to...
Which is also bullshit. I don't even think that we should have a group stage. In fact, you know what I really like? Let me show you guys something, yeah? Let me show you guys something that I really like. Oh, by the way, We are fucked, bro. We are fucked. Why did we draw fucking Vitality, bro? We're fucked, man. We have our first good tournament in months and months. Then quarterfinal for draw. Go ahead against Vitality, bruv. Good luck. Fuck off. Anyhow, this is a system that I really, really like. So this includes 16 teams. So you can do this with 32 teams, but it would be bigger. Then you would have 6 games instead of 3, well, you'd have 6 games instead of sorry, you'd have 12 games instead of 6. Currently, you have 6 games at maximum. But I really like this system because pretty much what happens. This is how you get creative play. This is how you get teams that are at each other's level, playing each other. And this is how you get all the best teams to qualify too. So it's fair, it's fun, it's not so many games. And so how does it work? So everyone starts with 0 games played, 0-1, 0 lost. If you win your game, you go into the 1-1, 1 loss bracket. If you lose your game, if you win your game, you go into the 1-1 bracket. If you lose, you go into 1 loss bracket. And so on. And you play people who are or teams who are in the same bracket. So Na'Vi won first 2 games, went into the 2-0 bracket, lost against Liquid, Spirit, and then played against G2, beat G2. Oh, by the way, G2 crashed out. They lost to Mongols, Jesus. Oh, I didn't even know that. G2 crashed out, bruv. My god. Anyhow, so I like the system. Because this way you get good games all around the clock. Yeah, you get good games all around the clock, bruv. Like, Liquid crashing out 3-0. Or 0-3. Nobody really expected that. But then you go straight into the quarterfinal too. Because it's only 16 teams. And quarterfinals, I think, of Champions League are the best, quarterfinals onwards are the best stages. So I would actually reform the Champions League into this system. I think this would create incredibly good games. From top to bottom, every game would matter. Every single game would matter. If you win your first 2 games, and you lose the next 2, you're in the 2-2 bracket, and now you're playing a final. You win, you're done. Or you win, you qualify. You lose, you're out. So I love this system. It's such a great system. It's a shame that we don't get it in any form of football. But I would love this system in football. Now, if we don't get this system, I would actually just do European Cup round of 32. The old system of the European Cup. Let me show you guys. 1990 European Cup, sure. European Cup. Not final, just European Cup. So, if we go to this, then, if it would load, then you just have round of 32. Well, first round. It's 2-legged. Jesus Christ, Mechelen was smoke. That's Predon still play for them. Jesus Christ, Mechelen was on smoke, bruv, in the 1990s. They lost to AC Milan, though. To be fair, won the whole thing. They went on smoke, bruv. 5-0 and 4-1. Malmo was good, by the way, in the 1990s. They won the UEFA Cup, the Europa League, in the 1980s, I believe. Anyhow. So you just have the round of 32, round of 16, quarterfinals, semifinals, final. I would like that. I think that would make a good system. So there are systems that you can play there that are superior to what we have right now, that would take up less games, because we have to take up less games and get more good football. Rumors are saying Grealish to Napoli. Not happening, I think. I saw the rumors as well. I don't think it will happen. This game is a Counter-Strike, CS2. So this is the Austin Major. Major is pretty much like World Cup. So yeah. V. I saw Navi win the major live actually. In Copenhagen. I was sad. This Copenhagen major. I believe I have the pin somewhere in my room. Good, I have it somewhere. Because I was at the major and they gave out like 3 pins of the major. 1 second, let me find it. I've got it somewhere. God knows where exactly. This is one of the pins. This is another one. And this is another one. I'm not sure how well you guys. That is the big pin. Is it in my backpack? I can't be bothered to look for that right now, but I had the pin. For the major because of Copenhagen. I was there. But yeah, let's continue.
36, changed the whole format to add 2 extra league phase games, and then added an extra round of matches for teams placing 9th through 24th
I think it's on my desk
place.
there.
Additionally, let's not forget the fact that South American and Asian teams are actually having to stop their league play schedules to compete in this tournament.
Which is bullshit. This should not be happening. This should not be happening. Let's be honest, this is bullshit. This competition is disrupting South American leagues, as I said earlier. This is not good for South American football. This is not just bad for the European football, it's bad for South American football, which is improving and getting better. But they don't care.
And they're adding another 3 to possibly 7 extra matches on top of a 60 to 70 plus match schedule, or how teams like Mamelodi Sundowns, Wydad AC, Al Ain, and Al Ali also just wrapped up their 45 to 50 plus game seasons not too long ago, and are also having to fly out of their respective homes to participate in this tournament too.
Which is bullshit. Bad for players all across the, and every competition. Bad. This is bad for these players. You're ruining these players. You're destroying the athletes that used to make football fun. People are like, oh, football isn't fun to watch anymore. How about this idea? Don't make them play 60 games a season, not including international football. Because that's what we're doing. Not including international football, 60 games a season, no summer break, that's what we are doing.
See, footballers playing too many games and having a toll on their bodies that can lead to injuries and a decrease in the quality of the game is a concern that should and needs to be addressed.
Yes.
But when it's also an argument being made by the whiniest babies in the room who are upset that they can't farm Asian or North American markets for more money with asinine preseason tours immediately after their European seasons are over, or as their actual preseasons before their leagues start.
Okay, that's just a run-on sentence. Let me interrupt it. So his argument is, you have a good argument, but let me throw a straw man out here and let me attack that instead. So you acknowledge the good argument, which is you're overplaying these teams, and you're overplaying these players, and you're ruining the quality of football. But I can't argue with that. So instead, let me make this straw man. Let me make this ridiculous, cartoonishly evil character, and let me attack this. What are we doing? What are we doing?
I tend to lose most of my semblance of empathy. Look, if
That's on you. That's on you. Like, I tend to lose most of my semblance of empathy. Okay, that's on you. Wait, are we watching the S and the Club World Cup? We might watch the CS. We can do well. Oh, look at this. Natus Winsley won. We can do watch-alongs to Natus Winsley, maybe. Navi watch-alongs, guys. I don't think it will end well, though. I think Vitality will destroy us, bro. Actually, I was quite surprised that Vitality didn't go 3-0. I thought Vitality would just clean up, go 3-0, but Spirit played very well against.
the players want to go on strike because they feel match load is too much of a burden on their bodies, I'm not stopping them. Good on them for standing up for themselves if they ever do it, because Lord knows these clubs and institutions are not going to do it.
And apparently, neither should the fans be allowed to stand up for the players.
But the fact that this whole point is
Falcons also out. They didn't even qualify. They didn't even qualify. Because I believe they just didn't win enough. I believe they didn't win the right competitions. I'm not sure why they didn't qualify, to be honest. Yeah, they didn't qualify. They're second in the world right now by the rankings, aren't they? Or are they third? I'm not sure. Let me check. Where are they according to rankings? Well, they're fourth, but that's rankings of HLTV. In Valve rankings, they're fifth. I was very surprised that they didn't qualify. I guess they only won one trophy, but like the BGL Bucharest was a big trophy though. And what did it qualify? Yeah, grouped events. Did it get any qualifiers? I guess it didn't. So I guess the reason why they didn't qualify is because they did not win the competitions they should have won. I guess that's why.
Is used by people as an attempted gotcha at a new tournament being launched, even if it is by, and I must emphasize, f***ing FIFA, rather than out of football fans feeling any semblance of pity for players and the overload of matches played each year. Even you have to agree this is kind of f***ed up, right?
Consider this. We hate FIFA because they don't show respect to the players. Instead of this weird false dichotomy, this incredibly flimsy straw man, argue the actual argument.
Right? Huh. Somebody actually nailed at least half of...
Yeah, Na'Vi is the only team to have to qualify for every major. Na'Vi, bruv, what am I saying?
the assignment. 5 out of 10. But I do have some notes.
Nah. Simple can't do that to us. Bruv.
First, you mean to tell me that the Club World Cup, organized by FIFA, the epitome of pure sporting integrity, is motivated by money? I, for one, am shocked.
So, what they're doing here, and I'm gonna call it out. I know nobody likes the nerd guy who is like, well, this is a logical fallacy, but I'm gonna call it out because this is egregious. This is just egregious. What he's doing here is he's framing the argument, which is a very good argument. He's framing it in a childish manner to deflect it. Because he doesn't want to actually engage with this argument. That's called a deflection. It's lacking in intellectual vigor. It really is. This is once again lacking in intellectual vigor and interest of good debate and good faith. Which is a very snobby thing to do. And I don't feel sorry for calling this guy out. Because he goes after all the content creators who are bigger than him, and he's bigger than me. And he calls them out and he insults them. So I'm gonna dish it out to this guy as well. He is a snobby cunt. He's a liar. He's dishonest. He's arguing in bad faith. If you want to watch the Club World Cup, go ahead, bro. But I don't think you should. I think it's a corrupt competition. Made for the money, with disregard for the players, fucking up player schedules even more. This guy has the most snobby response ever. Why? Because Palmeiras, the club he supports, has not won a World Cup, and he really desperately wants them to win a World Cup. And this competition is their best chance at doing that. I mean, come on. This is not a football fan, this is a Palmeiras fan. Let's be honest about that.
What's next? You're gonna tell me water's wet?
Well, this is just facts. Water is Yeah, the AI, don't trust everything you read from AI. What it is. Right. What it is.
Or that those shiny new sponsorship deals for it from the PIF in Saudi Arabia didn't just magically appear out of love for the game?
If I wanted a joke, I'd follow you into the John and watch you take a leak.
Second, these
Yeah, but here's the thing, yeah? Here's the thing. He's taking all these good arguments and then he's like, oh, what a silly thing. Oh, what a silly thing. Why even talk about that? Because it's important to talk about it. You're deflecting from these good arguments you can't answer. You know you can't answer these. Because you don't want to engage with arguments that you just can't answer. You don't want to look like someone who is not incredibly well versed on. You want to look like your opinion is a definitive opinion. That is snobby. You're those snobs. What you're doing is snobby. Yeah?
European snobs pretended to have the
Yeah, he literally said it like 5 seconds.
same exact problem with the new format of the UEFA Champions League for months leading up to the competition, and now that it's been played for a whole year, I can't help but hear most of you clapping it up for all of the extra games and
But first of all, Champions League still sucks. I mean, I talked about this earlier, I won't repeat myself. The new format, it ruins the competitions below it ruins the Champions League itself, it fucks up play schedules even more. All of this is true. This is just a deflection, this is a whataboutism. Again, football fans are fickle. The Champions League, no, this new format of Champions League, it's bad, it's this, it's that. But suddenly, after you whined about this new format, because you watched it, it's great, guys, it's great. They're gonna do the same thing with the Club World Cup. But this is where I am consistent, and where other people aren't. This new format in the Champions League sucks, this Club World Cup sucks. Because I can step out of the world of football fan, as a Man City fan, and I can look at it as a football fan, not as a club fan. This guy can't do that, clearly.
the entertainment you got out of them. Funny how football's being ruined turns into what a brilliant knockout stage after a few thrillers under the lights. But no, you're totally different when it comes to the Club World Cup. It's
They're not. They're gonna flip-flop on Club World Cup too.
all about your values this time, right?
It was the first time too. They're gonna flip-flop, and you know. Stop making these fucking stupid straw mans. Argue the actual like, this is the thing, yeah? Half of this video, more than 70% of this video is going after the weakest possible argument. And then when there's a good argument, he's like, oh, but this is silly. Who did not know this? Moving on. And then you have the audacity to call people snobs, to target content creators and specifically call them snobs. To push them onto your screen as you talk about them and disrespect them. Crazy guy.
God damn it!
Anyway, moral high ground and pearl clutching aside, here's the facts. Many clubs are hell-bent on not only participating in this tournament, but on winning the whole damn lot.
Yeah, costs money. Yes. What clubs want is not always the best for what fans want. It's not always the best for what players need. Because players want to play. It's that simple. Players want to play. That's not always the best for the players. And not always the best for football. What clubs want is a very separate situation. And if you disagree with that, that's fair. But then I would ask you, want to see Premier League games played in the United States? Because a lot of Premier League clubs want that, so...
We've got the
Is the interest of the clubs always the same as that of the fans?
likes of Real Madrid out here promising to give each player a bonus of 1 million euros for winning the Club World Cup after the massive failure of a season that they had in 2024-25. Every single South American club is hell-bent on trying to take some European skulls back home and to call themselves the biggest of world champions by aiming for this trophy. You have players like goalkeeper Khalid Issa from Al Ain stating how these will be some of the most beautiful matches of a lifetime, ones I'll remember for decades.
Again, that's nice for him, but how is this good for football? Like we can extrapolate from individuals all over the place, but what about the grander picture? Yeah, what about the grander picture of football?
In Saitama, thousands of fans unfurled a huge flag saying, "Grab the World Cup," ahead of Urawa Red Diamonds' last domestic game against FC Tokyo before heading to the US for the tournament. You can go through every single team that is in this Club World Cup, and you're going to find a story about how much a competition like this one means to them and their fans. Along with also...
Okay, so here's one. Jack Grealish wants to play less football. Jack Grealish said, "I will take a wage cut for there to be less games in professional football." There you go. Anecdotes. There you go. I'm a genius, guys. I only know about Jack Grealish because I'm a Man City fan. I'm sure that other players in every club have said this. Wow, anecdotes. And then this guy will also dismiss any fucking valid argument. I use anecdote.
Also realizing how archaic the MLS is as an institution for screwing the Seattle Sounders and Los Angeles Football Club out of their rightful prize pool for participating in this tournament. Surely, to any of my European contemporaries who have somehow managed to stick it out through all of this video, you can understand the concept of a tournament where opportunities are given for teams around the world who do meet the criteria to shine, to give
Incredibly flimsy criteria. Incredibly flimsy criteria. How's Chelsea doing? It's still only one goal up. It's still only one goal up. Has the lob come on yet? Oh, yes. To be fair, this is a better team. This is a bit of a better team, the MLS than Australia, but incredibly flimsy criteria. And I'm sure we'll see scorelines similar to this pretty soon when Al Ain and these other clubs play. Like, who's in here? How the fuck does Benfica even qualify for this? Like, bro, we're taking the piss. We're taking the absolute piss. Benfica is not one of the top 10 teams in Europe, let's be honest. Al Ain. Al Hilal. Actually, Al Hilal might be quite good. Bakusha. Monterrey. Esats, Canada. That's Mexico. Monterrey. Yes. I mean, it's in Mexico. Oh, it's near the border. I was like, yeah, this sounds like kind of English. I guess this makes sense. My geography is not that good in this area of the world. It's a lot better in Europe. But yeah, it wasn't Texas used to be like this part of Mexico, right? This part of Mexico used to be all Texas. Because Texas used to be an independent, like, republic. Or was it a republic? I think it was. So it used to be its own thing. So I guess Monterrey would have been part of Texas.
Give their fans memorable moments that they will never forget. After all, isn't this what sports are all about? Those once-in-a-lifetime memories and the possibilities that come with it? At the end of the day...
Okay, so that's actually a good argument. Now, I could just say, oh, but that's silly, and deflect it like what he does whenever there's a good argument. But I will actually answer this argument in good faith. Something that this guy has not done when he's been faced with a good argument. So, football is about memories, I agree. It's, elite sports in general, it's about having good memories about things, seeing beautiful things. But that's not the only thing that international sport is about. these memories will become incredibly faint and few when you make them artificial. These memories, they have to be authentic. When it's artificial, something will feel wrong. Something will feel like it's not quite there. And that is what you are creating. It's not quite there. And it won't feel as good. And you're making overall product of football words. So you've got a net loss on memories. Got maybe a few more memories in one regard, but on a net loss, you've made football word. Or well, not you, but football has become words. So I agree, football is, or elite sports is in part about memories. That's not the only thing that football is about.
The FIFA Club World Cup is fine. It's not perfect. It will likely never be perfect. After all, it's run by FIFA. In some way, shape, or form, they'll find ways to make the qualifications in future renditions of this just as convoluted as this first go-around. And I don't even want to imagine the logistic nightmare that in addition where multiple teams from Citigroup and Red Bull managed to qualify for will lead in terms of those clubs being allowed to stay, while another Liga MX club probably gets booted because of multi-club ownership. But at this instant, it's the closest competition that we will...
You just have to laugh. As a Man City fan, you know what you have to do as a Man City fan? Just laugh, because you know it's fucked. You know it's fucked. But we have found loopholes and other clubs haven't. So it's fucked up. Let's be honest, it's fucked up. But like, here's what it is. It's a bit like the big always win, isn't it? The big always win. It's not fair, but like people weren't crying when Man City was getting that type of treatment. So I won't cry for other teams either. People didn't cry for Man City when we got that treatment. Fair is fair, I would say. And this is not fair, but it is what it is.
Get that might just answer the question as to who the best football club in the entire world is. No matter how many footballing snobs out there may try to tell us otherwise. And most importantly...
Again, snobs. Everyone who disagrees with me is a snob.
It'll be a competition where I don't have to put up with Jamie Carragher's dog shit analysis on the sport during halftime and the aftermath of each of the games I watch.
17, you don't need 3 foot out.
Just don't watch Jamie Carragher's analysis. Problem solved. Problem solved. Just don't watch Jamie Carragher's analysis.
Well, that does it for me. If this video was something you enjoyed watching, or if you just like me yapping in general, go ahead, click the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you feel inclined, you can also hit the join button to become a member of the channel. You'll get access to a private Discord along with constant updates.
Okay, it's just going off. So, it's the Euro snobs who are the problem. So, this is a video made by an incredibly snobby guy who calls other people snobby. What he did consistently was he just talked shit about like anyone who disagreed with him, and he deflected from any serious argument. So he had some good arguments in there, which I've tried to address honestly, but he just deflected from any serious argument himself, which is quite sad. This competition, to round up, because I will be going live with Liam soon, Bayern View, so Alfred in chat, I suppose, in a bit. But to round up, it's a corrupt competition. It's a waste of time. It's money to a select few teams in Brazil and Argentina who will dominate their leagues more, which will not help these grow. These leagues are on an upward trajectory. And that is very exciting if you're a football fan. Forget Man City, forget this club, that club. Football fan. These leagues are improving. Argentinian league, Brazilian league. But you inject all that cash into these leagues, Now that league will no longer improve. Team who receives cash will improve. And then you create a Bundesliga. Bundesliga, European League, yay, not a good league. Not a good league, let's be honest. You kill the creativity of these. You kill the uniqueness. You kill the development. And that is only one aspect. So adding piles of games again and less rest again and again and again. Especially for these players who are playing in the UEFA Nations League. Then in the Club World Cup. Then immediately after that, the season has started. The 20th of July, the Belgian League begins already. 20th of July. This competition is barely done by then. We are just killing any form of rest, of temperament for these players. We are looking at players that could play 80 games between club and country in a full season. That is not healthy. The most used to be 60 games. Club and country, 60 games. That used to be the most. Nowadays, we have many players who get 60 games between club and country. We have many players who, or a few players who get to 70 games for club and country. And those 10 extra games make a huge difference. They make a huge difference on the longevity of players over the years. And the lack of rest makes an even worse difference because you have less time to recuperate. And it's all getting worse and worse and worse. But hey, we all knew that FIFA was corrupt, so don't even think about it. Don't even think about it because it's FIFA. FIFA is FIFA money, you know. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about the sport you love being flanderized for money. Don't worry about that. Instead, Alfred in chat, guys, because we are gonna go over to Liam's channel. Big up to Liam. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Helps out a ton for me. See you guys